It's great to be here today. I'm here to announce our plan for real change for our environment, our economy, and our future. We need to take real action on climate change. Il est temps de mettre un prix sur les émissions de carbone au Canada. Dans les 90 jours suivant notre élection, nous travaillerons avec les provinces pour établir un cadre visant à réduire l'empreinte de carbone au Canada. It's time Canada put a price on carbon pollution. We'll work with the provinces in the first 90 days of taking office to establish a framework for reducing Canada's collective carbon footprint. Make no mistake, the Liberal Party will be putting a price on carbon. We'll invest in clean technologies. We'll look to the future and develop a Canadian energy strategy that delivers security and energy conservation while investing millions in clean tech. To create more clean jobs and investment overall, we'll enhance tax measures that help all companies innovate, grow, and create jobs. We'll attend the Paris UN Climate Change Conference with the premiers. And to clean up the mess in our own backyard, we'll put some teeth back into the environmental review process, the one gutted by Stephen Harper. To make sure even more Canadian families get to enjoy our country's natural beauty, we'll make admission to national parks free in 2017, the 150th anniversary of Confederation. And we'll pay for it by cutting the lavish Canada 150 advertising budget, because we know our country's beauty speaks for itself. Finally, we'll protect our wildlife and our water by increasing the amount of protected marine and coastal areas to 5% by 2017 and 10% by 2020. And these are just the highlights. You can find the rest of our plan for real environmental and economic change on realchange.ca. But speaking of those two things, the environment and the economy, they go together. They go together like paddles and canoes. If you don't take care of both, you're never going to get to where you're going. Because you can't have a strong economy without a healthy environment. I think for any project to go forward, we need public trust. And what Mr. Harper has demonstrated over the past 10 years is not behavior that is worthy of public trust. Any proposal to get our resources to markets, which is something that Canada needs to do, but in the 21st century, it needs to do it in a way that gets public trust, that gets support from Aboriginal communities, in partnership with them, and gets the support of scientific communities. That's why we're committing to overhauling the environmental review process so that projects currently in the works and in the future will actually establish the public trust necessary. Make no mistake about it, Canada needs to get its resources to market, but we need to do that in a way that actually respects the long-term interests of Canadians and of our future. Even though governments get to grant permits, ultimately it's only communities that grant permission, and that's what we need going forward. Oh, a number of things we've talked about is actually leaving room for proper public consultation, for respect of the experts, but a large piece of it is just not having a government feel like it needs to put the thumb on the scale of any given project. We need a government to establish a fair and open playing field where the rules of the game are respected and where proponents of a project get to actually explain and justify it to people who have concerns, and that together we figure out the best possible project. This government has chosen to be a cheerleader instead of a referee on issues like this, and a great example of that is the Northern Gateway Pipeline. Everyone here in BC knows that the Great Bear Rainforest is not a place for an oil pipeline. And if Mr. Harper had actually listened or understood British Columbia in the slightest, he would have said that from the get-go and saved an awful lot of people a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of money. I look forward to the debates. I look forward to contrasting our plan for real change with the other visions and plans out there. I'm excited about the opportunity to engage with Canadians across the country and to highlight the serious, extraordinary team I'm surrounding myself with and the very responsible, complete vision for this country that we're putting forward. After 10 years, Canadians know it's time for a change. What we need is change for the better and the right team to deliver it, and that's exactly what we're putting forward.